Hi, Original Soul. Welcome in to this pick a pile reading. All right, so I'll let you get a closer look at the piles. You can pick one, two, or all three, and then check out the comments or the description for the timestamps. Right, so here they are, pile one, pile two, and pile three. All right, pile one, let's jump into this reading, shall we? Okay, so I've got a beautiful piece of citrine on top of this pile, if you can see that. So we've got citrine, and then we've got a little hen. Okay, so citrine and our happy little hen right here in your pile number one. So let's jump into the cards. All right, first card, overall energy. Coming up, ooh, look at this. This is like the wish lantern. All right, so there we go. So possibly some wishing going on, maybe some wishes coming true. Right, something is sort of brewing or percolating. Right, there's a glow coming from inside that lantern. All right, so really kind of positive, exciting energy so far in this pile. So maybe there's something you've been wishing for or manifesting. Maybe that's starting to come to fruition, or little or small parts of that are starting to manifest. Okay. Next card here, challenging energies, possible obstacles, challenges coming up. Okay, so Six of Wands coming out in the potential issues or challenges. All right, so this, I don't know if this is a badger or maybe even a cute little skunk here, standing up on stage, so maybe getting some glory or being seen. I don't know if that has something to do with your wish, but there could be maybe just some challenges or obstacles around sort of making that step or finding the actual success that you were looking for. Maybe some of that, right, isn't as prominent, or it's not showcased the way that you were hoping for. Right, but also picking up with this, just keeping in mind, right, that sometimes we have sort of every kind of step in the outcome, kind of all those expectations already laid out of how we think everything has to go for it to be our wish granted or what we were hoping for. So being a little bit more open to, right, the way things end up playing out, right? Sometimes you end up getting what you want, but sometimes in a more roundabout or a little bit of a different way. So I don't know if there was something you were hoping to put out there, whether it was yourself. Again, this could be like public speaking, getting out on stage, being on social media, or just shining in some kind of way, and maybe not quite seeing those results that you were hoping for. All right, let's see. And then pile one got a bonus. I've got a deck on the side that I'd shuffled up in case we wanted to clarify anything. But one of the cards came kind of flying, spinning out, and landed right on pile one. So let's see what this is. Yeah, strength. Look at this beautiful wizard just hanging out with that dragon. Right, she's really chill. She's got that confidence, that strength. She knows she has a lot of power and magic. Right, so keeping that strength and perseverance in mind. And again, sometimes you have to try something more than one time, right, to have it go the way you want. Sometimes you have to spend time, right? Practice. Every time you do something, you get a little bit better. All right. So strength available to you. Might be needed again to stay in sort of this happy hen and creative sort of energy. Because again, the wish is the overarching energy. Okay, so now last card, final card in this pile out of the White Light Oracle. Let's see what we get. This will just be sort of some guidance or advice through this time, through this energy, especially if things feel like they're not quite going or hitting the way that you had been hoping for. Definitely bringing in balance as well. Yeah, all right, Deer of Delta, number 26. Look at this beautiful image. I just mentioned balance. You can see right, there's sort of a mother and baby deer in this image. They're nuzzled into each other. You know, Delta are slower brain waves. All right, so I'm going to read just part of the message out of this book. But number 26 also is an 8. So we do have that strength, right? And I did mention how she's kind of got that quiet strength. She's sitting, she's confident. Not everything always takes fiery action. And that could be something too, like maybe some action that you take. Maybe something, again, just doesn't quite turn out the way you were expecting or hoping. So maybe pulling back a little bit. All right, let's see what this message. Number 26, Deer of Delta. I'll read the intro paragraph. All right, without any force, you can overcome even extreme negativities. Your real nature is gentle, which is powerful in its own unique way. You do not need to become something you are not. You can confidently and effectively invoke spiritual protection from the light. You can never be dominated or bullied at a spiritual level because the real you is always empowered and protected in the light. All right, so that is the message with the guidance out of Deer of Delta. Like I mentioned, with the strength, right, and maybe kind of too much action or a little too much boldness, maybe even a little bit too much ego, taking that out of what your wish is, and maybe pulling some of that back, not using force, and just really relying on your own authentic self. So taking off any mask that you may be putting on or any sort of facade, right? Especially when we've got this character here up on stage, right? So that could be like theater or acting where you are playing a different character, playing a different role. Right, so really getting more in touch with yourself, and that's when this real kind of wish fulfillment and connection comes in. All right, so that is your message, pile 1. Thank you so much for being here, and until next time, peace. Hello, pile 2. Let's jump into your reading, shall we? All right, so what do we got on top here of pile 2? I've got beautiful elephant with my selenite wand with amethyst and copper wrapped around. So maybe there is something with intuition, cleansing, could have something to do with ancestors, or even just some of your memories. Maybe there's something that you haven't really forgotten about. Yeah, some kind of wisdom. All right, let's jump into the cards. Let's see, first card here, overarching energy coming up. All right, we've got anchor number 35. You can see there's a crescent moon in this card. A nice big solid anchor on the shore. Looks a little bit stormy behind this anchor. All right, so a little bit more rooting. All right, maybe getting solid. If things have felt a little chaotic or unstable, feeling more on that solid ground. So doing some grounding practices. And also getting unhooked or unchained from anything that has been maybe keeping you weighted down or keeping you a little bit more stuck. Right, there's some netting kind of wrapped around this as well. So yeah, maybe bringing in some clearing of your energy, even of your physical space. That could even be with maybe even the people around you. All right, so really getting more in touch, grounded, centered, right? Even if there have been a little bit of kind of this stormy nature, either in or around you. All right, and then challenges potentially through this next cycle. I guess this goes maybe hand in hand with our anchor here, the King of Cups. So this is about emotional control. So that could be something that could be a little bit of a challenge, right? Especially, like I said, if things have felt a little chaotic or a little bit turbulent, right? The King of Cups does have control of emotions, does have things in check. right, is able to keep an even keel even when things are kind of swaying all over the place, storms are coming through change. All right, so just noticing if that is something that is when you are going through something, right, of keeping control of emotions, whether that is just outbursts or maybe it's just extreme sadness or even depression, right? So definitely really relying on whatever kind of help and support that you have or that you can get. And again, maybe doing some of those clearing practices, cleansing practices, definitely getting in touch too spiritually as well. So that could mean maybe some meditation or something like that. All right. And then let's get some guidance with this pile, especially if there is some sort of situation that's got you kind of turbulent and kind of flipping all over the place here. So to get you settled, to get you more anchored. All right, number 1, magnetism of Eros. Let me hold this card up so you can see it. And there is some kind of swirling energy going on. I don't know if this has to do with a relationship. We sort of have these two people that are sort of like entangled, but also kind of pulled or drawn apart here. There's a little bit more fire and passion in this card. We've got a lot of water energy in the other two cards. Right, so just noticing how you act or react, how you're moving forward, making sure you're using your heart and your passion, but maybe not letting that sort of spiral out of control, being a little bit more grounded, maybe taking things a little bit slow. All right, let me read number 1 here. And yeah, focusing on yourself. Number 1 is all about you. All right, let's just read a sentence or two out of the book here. All right, trust in what your heart yearns for without concern about how it will manifest. Take steps towards that which moves your heart. Reach out for what your soul wants and needs. Allow yourself to be vulnerable, for only then can you be truly held. That which appears out of reach or unavailable to you is closer than you realize. Right, and Lincoln Boy popping in for a minute to what's the word? Not add to the message, to confirm. That's the word, confirm the message. Okay, so trusting in your heart, taking out some of that worry. Again, like I said, maybe having a little bit of that emotional control feels a little bit challenging through whatever you're going for, whatever you're trying to reach. And then, like I said, it looked like these two people were sort of kind of coming apart. They're just out of reach of each other. But as this card is reminding you, right, once you can be a little bit more vulnerable, fall a little bit more into your heart space. So notice if you've been detached in that way, be a little more vulnerable, fall into your heart space, right? What you're actually reaching for is closer than you realize. Okay, so that is the message for pile 2. I hope there was something here for you. And if this is where we leave each other today, until next time, peace. Hello, pile 3. Let's jump into your reading, shall we? Okay, so what do I got on top here? A black stone here. I'm trying to remember exactly what type of stone this was, but something related to protection. Most of the black stones are. This one does too have sort of this gray stripe through it. If I can remember, I'll add it to the comments. And then I've got this little gem I found outside, but it reminds me of a little pig snout. So some protection energy on top of the cards of this pile. We'll see maybe if that sort of grounding, earthy protection has anything to do with the message that wants to come out here. So let's start overall energy coming up. Ooh, the hot air balloon, number 43. So this can be about fulfillment, excitement, something new on the horizon. Right, there's sort of like this beautiful sort of city or party going on inside this hot air balloon. They're up above the clouds, out of the confusion, kind of off in this beautiful dream space, this dream world. All right, so I don't know if this is some energy you've been in or that you've got coming in. All right, and then potential challenges coming up through this starting out beautiful energy right here. 3 of Pentacles. All right. So with this sort of dream vision that you've got going on, maybe part of that is starting to come true, but Three of Pentacles, some sort of working together or coming together. Maybe there's been a little bit of a challenge, or maybe that just hasn't happened, right? There needs to be some sort of collaboration that goes on, and that's not really either going well or hasn't happened at all. You can kind of see too, even though they're working together, right, there could be maybe a better way to kind of get up and climb and get those pentacles, instead of maybe just pushing on top of someone's head or climbing over somebody else. All right, so just a cohesiveness or some sort of coming together of resources or people or energy, right? This could be a little bit challenging coming up here. All right, let's add one more to it. I've got a deck here to clarify. Let's see. We'll get one more card with it. Five of Wands. So yeah, conflict, fighting. This could even be competition, right? So sometimes if you're ever trying to work with people on a team, but they're kind of out for themselves and not really taking everyone into account. All right, so maybe a little bit of bumpiness, a little bit of rough air, right, through that hot air balloon ride. So let's get some guidance, some advice here from the White Light Oracle. Number 30, Vulva of Satyr. All right, so let me hold this up and then we'll read a little message out of this card. Vulva of Satyr, so her eyes are closed. It almost looks like she's possibly lying down. She's got her hands on her chest. So this is going a little bit more within. This is getting back in touch sort of with your heart space and your intuition. Maybe your initial hope, your initial drive, kind of getting back to the roots of what that was, cutting out some of this noise, right? Getting back, kind of boiling it back down to that kind of pure level, sort of this dream state. All right, let's see. I can find it here. Here we go. All right. Your inner spiritual power can heal circumstances in your life and our world in ways greater than you realize. Journey within to gain clarity and conscious redirection of your inner energies toward what you wish to manifest. Do not try to control what is happening. Instead, work to bring positive influence to bear so that you may contribute constructively towards shaping the outcome for the greatest good. All right, I love that. I think this sums this up perfectly, right? So you've got some sort of wish, some sort of power, some sort of mission even, right? And this is something really wonderful, but there might be a little bit of conflict. Yeah, needing just a little bit more clarity, right? Not trying to control everything, maybe taking ego out of the equation and checking back in kind of on that soul level, because you are much more powerful and your dream is much more powerful than you realize, right? But sometimes we need to just get out of the way a little bit of that too. Okay, so that is the message here for pile 3. I hope there was something here for you. And if this is where we're leaving each other today, until next time, peace.